was going to be making a video on Elena. I'm talking a little bit about why you should be skipping her based on her Korean version, because on the Korean server, she's been a useless character since forever. But it turns out that for global, not only she was buffed, but she's one of the strongest DPSs right now for a lot of the current teams we can run. In fact, for the composed team, she is going to be the best DPS. It depends on the setup, and on bosses, she might not be the best, but close to. That said, before we jump into this and show some damage numbers and everything else, hello degenerates, welcome back to Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict. Today's topic, Elena, and if it's worth pulling for her or not. TLDR, if you don't want to watch the whole video, most likely she's going to be either T0 or T1 character, okay? So fantastic DPS, I think is worth getting. The biggest advantage she's going to have is that she's not even an Elda-in, so it's cheaper to max out than Aya. Now, speaking on Aya, how does she perform competing with her on a normal stage with elemental advantage with a full composed team? Well, pretty fucking good if you ask me. Now, this is super important because this is a 4-star Aya, right, versus a 1-star Elena. Aya with a mithril knife, Elena no items. I re-rolled, I restarted the stage until I got this setup on the first wave. On the first wave, I retried until I got the 4-star Aya, 1 item, and 1-star Elena. And that's where I got this damage. 13 million versus 11 million after 5 waves of both of them, not using their ultimates, not even using Aya's ultimate. If I use both ultimates, Elena is still doing way more damage, and I can show some extra comparisons later. But as you can see, that's a big difference. And this is an Aya that is right now 777. When I was running this test, she had everything, +5 the magic attack and the crit weapon. While my Amelia, it's 774, and we'll talk about her skills in a second. And her gear was not even this piece. This piece I got after I finished testing, so do not even include this piece. She only had this physical defense one. So on that setup, while Elena has way less investment, she's still out-pacing my Aya and almost any other character I put in here. So she's a really good character. We'll talk about her kit and what they did in order to make her this good. Also, as usual, if you want to check this testing live and whatnot, we'll be live later, playing a little bit of Trickcal and gacha dailies and pushing the new chapters in the campaign. Also, a side note, because this is a pretty bad thing that Trickcal did, I don't know why, but if you bought the creep house right now on the real estate, you got shafted, you got scammed a little bit, because now if you find the crepe house, this one right here, it used to give +2 on the apostles, and I think they changed it to +1 only, because people are having 1 more than they should have right now. And that's pretty fucking bad. I hope it's only a mistake and not an actual change, because people bought it for multiple reasons. So Epic, don't be retarded, change that, thank you. That's it, let's go back into the topic, which is gonna be Elena, obviously. So like I was saying, she has been buffed on the Korean server a lot. And when I say buffed, I mean her damage numbers are way better. So if we check her skill one, right, it's an AoE physical damage that is also applying electrocution, pretty good. Her senior skill, it's an AoE that deals damage 8 times, really good. Her passive can be completely skipped or level 4 only. The only reason you will be going past level 4 in the skill is because you want to be getting more combat power on Elena. But it's pretty bad. If Amelia is deployed on the lineup, reduces incoming damage. Now, as a mid lane character, this means she can survive longer. Also, considering Amelia will be most likely on your team, it's pretty good. But for the most part, not really passive that's needed, but it's great for pushing at high deficit when it comes to campaign. That's it. Let's compare those numbers with the Korean server. The Korean server at level 13, her first skill is doing 675% physical damage, which is almost nothing, right? And then on the global server at max level, it's gonna be doing literally double damage, 1200% at max level. That's double already on the freshman skill. Her senior skill is doing at max level 500% damage. The explosion, the final explosion, the same amount of damage, and it's exploding 6 times. On global, it's exploding 8 times, and on level 12 is doing 1400% of physical damage, and then the final explosion is doing 630, so it's even more than this one as well. And then her normal attack, which is gonna be the basic one, is still the same. It does not have a stun anymore, like it did have on the Korean server, but she doesn't really need it because she will be able to apply electrocution really consistently depending on what setup you are running on her, right? So as you can see, she basically was double in terms of the number she has, and her passive is not something amazing, but still will help keep her alive. So just because of that buff, it's worth getting her 100%. I was not going to be recommending people to get her, honestly, until I started running tests, and I was like, okay, hold up, I think I'm fucking wrong here. So if you go to the board, it's also a decent board. We get some attack, and we get some physical defense. Physical defense and magic defense is fine, it's whatever, it's extra combat power. The attack node is the good one, right? So as you can see, only the first board, I haven't unlocked the second one yet. My Aya has her second board unlocked, and still with second board, she's doing less damage. I think she has the second board, I might be tripping. Let me check. She has her second board, and she has everything, by the way, in here, not counting the purples and gold ones, obviously. But she has even her second board, and is doing still less damage, while going 4 stars with an item that my Elena no investment with the first board only. The other bad thing about Elena, honestly, is the A-Club. It sucks ass, like it's really bad. She has no good items, like you will never use her here. We're talking about nettles, we're talking about bear meat, and we're talking about the leather 3-leaf. It's like useless stuff most people will not care for. Most people will not care for. So that's for Elena. Once again, I need to test more to see where I do want to put her, but she will be either a T0 or a T1 character 100%. When it comes to her card, we can talk about the card a little bit if you guys want. It's this one right here, the Elena's Enhanced Drone. I don't think it's worth pulling unless you are building a main blue team. If you're building a blue team, then you should be pulling for it so you can actually equip it on your Elena. But this is just like the Vivi card. Outside of Elena, there is barely any reasons to be using this. So this is 21 cost, and after using a freshman skill, increases attack speed of the holder by 6% for 6 seconds. But this does not stack, and it gives some attack and some HP, which is always good stats, right? Attack and HP. The problem is that for that cost, for an effect that does not stack, you have just better items. There are better items you can get that are going to be cheaper for most DPSs rather than a little bit of attack speed that does not stack. Just for a little bit more, for 25, you can get the Dragon Knight Sword, which is just crazy amount of attack. For the same price, the Mithril Knight, for the same price or almost close to the Sword and Staff, which still gives attack speed, but you can stack it up. It's not a bad item, but it's just that the stats that it gives and the cost are not that amazing. So I don't think it's worth using unless you are going full blue. In that case, yes. Now, if you're going full blue, the passive is the most important thing for this. Elena's favorite artifact here. This skill basically will send a drone doing almost 3000% of physical damage, doing the stun for 3 seconds, which was what she had previously on her enhanced attack, but now instead is added into the card, rather, right? And also, if you get it to 3 stars, which I think is not really worth it again, unless you are gonna be maining blue. If you're maining blue, go for it. If you get it to 3 stars, the second passive is 100% attack speed, which is really nice. Because 100 attack speed, so 3 stars, putting her card and putting her with something like either your Chalice of Origins, right? When you're landing normal attacks, recovering 4 speed would be crazy, really good combo. Same thing basically for the old wooden daggers, you can spam your skills. But the Chalice of Origins paired with the 3-star Elena's Enhanced Drone is fantastic for her. If she's already out damaging all of these characters, she's only gonna be getting better afterwards. But her card, I don't think is gonna be as good. I don't think it's gonna be something that I can recommend for a lot of characters. I can see that a T2, maybe a T3, probably a T2, because again, at least the stats are good, just like Sword and Staff, just like the Mithril Knife, etc. But for the most part, card you can skip. Character, go grab a copy 100%. Like I said earlier, the biggest advantage she has over Aya is how cheap it's going to be maxing her out versus Aya. You are limited on Eldains to buy them on the Crystal Drop Store, while you will be able to get Elena here for way cheaper if you want it, right? So it's gonna be way easier to get her to 5 stars and have the best DPS for the composed team and one of the best DPS in the game currently for AoE content as well for a pretty cheap price. That's it. Enough jumping, enough ranting. That's gonna be everything for this video. For the should you pull or skip Elena video, as usual, we're live every single day. Links in the description down below. Good luck with your pool, the rates. I'll see you in the next one.